What's up? Hey, Sebastian.
Hey, how you doing?
I can see you there on our Temi robot here. It's a very cool telepresence robot.
That's right. We're on Untitled Chapter.
Yeah. We've got lots of really cool, innovative tech like this here at Beta, and it's really cool to see you on the other end of this trying it out.
Yeah, and let me give a quick shout out to some of the people who are out here watching. Big shout out to Evelyn. Yes, I am fancy. Dylan, Michelle, Pralhad, and Daratraya. Welcome back to the stream. And yeah, we're here at this awesome beta store here in San Francisco. And we're going to be talking about some cool things like today, the Temi robot that we're looking at right now.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Nick Romero. I'm the general manager here at Beta in San Francisco, California. Well, why don't you come on over,
So cool.
Sebastian?
Thank you so much for having us.
Why don't you come on over? I can show you some of the cool features of the robot and introduce you to some of the latest tech here at Beta.
Awesome. Hey guys, check this out. I'm going to be coming in my human form, so just give me 1 second. I'm going to walk over, and then we're going to have this awesome live stream. So
Great. Hey, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
Good.
How you doing, Temi?
She's always good. So Temi is obviously a telepresence robot. We have been working with them for a few months now. They're actually an internationally based company. They have half their team in Israel and another half here in the US, and are in a lot of our beta stores. So they actually have been in pre-order for quite some time. And just this week, it's actually great timing for live stream that they actually are shipping units as of today, I believe, to customers. So everyone is happily getting their Temi robots and will be experiencing the coolness for themselves.
Very cool.
So, I mean, Temi's got a lot of features to her. The kind of biggest, kind of interesting mechanical parts to it, obviously, are the digital assistant, which is going to be very much like what a lot of people have seen in digital assistants from companies like Amazon or Google. But Temi is all proprietary to her own system. She's also got a second brain that lives down in the bottom, which controls the LIDAR. So for those of you who don't know, LIDAR is the same technology that self-driving cars are using. So she is excellent at judging distance and speed for being able to follow you around. So in essence, this is a robot that can be your digital assistant and can follow you all around your house or office.
Yeah. So they've got this. First of all, the product design is, I think, pretty nice, sleek, minimal. I like how they didn't necessarily go after the humanoid look because that kind of scares people off. So this is kind of like a sleek, doesn't have any arms. It's more of like an appliance rather than trying to be a human. And it has facial tracking, right?
It does have facial recognition. She is very, very capable of moving around a lot of different surfaces as well. And it's interesting you talked about the height, too. That was actually a very intentional design feature in making this very approachable, very family-friendly, and having something that was essentially child-sized that people could have in their homes, and it wasn't a huge, unwieldy robot.
Exactly, because that'd be intimidating to the smaller members of the family.
Exactly. Robotics are still something that I think that is being, accepted more widely, and so when you talk about user design, this is really a great use case of something that has been customized to the user to be, kind of more friendly and more accessible.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
there's a few more things.
Yeah. So beyond the just the cool aspect, she does have a little shelf back here. Might be a little hard to see on camera, but there is a wireless charging capable pad on the back, so you can have your phone charging on the back while you're having her follow you around the house. The digital assistant is pretty robust. Has a lot of different features. Being able to obviously do teleconferencing, which we showed you earlier. You can set up local locations within your home, so you can tell Temi to go to a certain location, and she can do that. She can pull up all kinds of media. She's got connection to the internet, of course, so she can take photos. You can send those off to friends. You can access your latest news. You can pull up radio stations. You can pull up videos on YouTube. your weather. There's lots of different options on this, and it's only going to get better. Temi's assistant is pretty robust, but it is no secret that these guys will actually be shipping with Amazon Alexa.
Oh,
so that's actually going to add a lot more functionality.
Sure,
and
Amazon packages.
Yeah, much more robust, sort of API for development, and lots of really cool interest from a lot of developers in making content for this.
I'm kind of glad that you brought up Alexa for a second. One of our past streams, which is really fun, and if you haven't got a chance to check it out, make sure you go back to our past streams. We did AI versus AI, and we did an Alexa versus a Google Home. And we had a rap battle, and it was a whole thing. So now Alexa destroyed Google in our competition. I'm not going to say in general, but and so that being said, it's only right that Alexa would be chosen, and that's maybe further evidence that the superiority is there. I mean, I love being able to be notified with my packages with the orange light. I mean, this guy would probably, or lady, would walk up and probably let us know that the package is here or something. We can imagine that integration going a little farther. So.
Absolutely. I mean, the sky's the limit when you talk about integrations with Alexa. So I think that was really a big factor for them, and putting that in the robot. She's also got excellent sound built into her too for the video and music portions. They built Harman Kardon speakers both into the front here as well as the bottom for the subwoofer. So it's very, very robust sound. So you're really getting a very premium experience out of this robot in every aspect.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about maybe some of the few products that you would invest and spend your money on, we all kind of, in a way, spend a lot on our cell phones, our smart devices, which can be run over $1,000. Some of the iPad Pros and these kind of things. Then you add in a premium speaker, and you start to kind of see where this thing kind of makes sense as an all-in-one. The audio is really great. If you're not familiar with Harman Kardon, they do a lot of the high-end luxury cars sound systems. So that being said, it's a luxury product, and it looks like one too.
Yeah,
I think the display I read is a very nice display. It's a QHD.
QHD, yes.
QHD screen, so very high-end display. Can we throw a song on?
Sure.
Something just to, even though it's going to be perceived wrong through the mic of how it is. But, I mean, it really has a great subwoofer and everything. So, I mean, this thing could be the life of the party easily. Just jumping into a few questions here. I see that Cliff says, I'm about to live stream the immersive track at Digital Hollywood. Your feed is coming in nice and clean. Thanks, Cliff, for tuning in. Always a pleasure. Alex says, let's connect soon. Michelle says, very cool. And Martin says, really cool stuff.
Nice.
Awesome.
It really is. So here, I'll give you guys a little sample. This is just some video content. We'll turn up the volume here.
Peeking a little bit, but this thing has bass. Bass in your face from Temi. So, yeah, it's really cool. It uses LIDAR, which is interesting. It uses LIDAR in order to do all of its 3D mapping, and by projecting, it's basically like, if you're not familiar with LIDAR, it's like a spinning light that is projecting light points all around, and then it gives a measure of distance. So when you see like a cruise automation car, you'll see those LIDARs spinning. And actually under Temi, if you look under the plastic lid, you'll see that there's something rotating there.
That's correct. I mean, we've actually also had customers ask about that who are interested in, sort of understanding LIDAR and making sure that, it is essentially lasers. And the effects of that are, still sort of being studied. So they've been very thoughtful about the placement of these. So it both helps for navigation as well as for, safety concerns, that they've located this at the bottom of the robot. It really helps her navigate and actually gives her a lot of control when going over different types of surfaces. So she's not even just for, beautiful hardwood floors or a concrete surface like in here. She actually can work great on carpet or even thicker surfaces as well.
Yeah. And I mean, I think what's really cool about this is not only can you do, you know, sort of like this telepresence where you can have a physical presence in a place that you are not. And we're seeing a lot of that VR controlling robots and these kind of things. But it also is a great tool for accessibility. You know, you think about someone who might have a disability and can't walk or can't kind of get around these places or even see things, you know. It's kind of like this remote moving camera, can call family members and everything. So
that's very true. I mean, initially these types of robots were developed for office applications, for being able to, you know, have a conference where you could walk around the office, things like that. And increasingly we've seen these more and more attractive to people in their homes. You know, they want to be able to give it to an elderly family member who can, you know, they can dial in and actually see them in real time and follow them around the house a bit. People like with kids have really been interested in this and kind of seeing how they can incorporate it like another member of the family, essentially. So there are lots and lots of applications. I mean, the future is still being written for these types of robots, and it's a you know, really exciting chapter with Temi because it is, you know, such a great iteration in the stream of these types of robotics coming out.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the first of very a few consumer grade robotics, and you know, we've seen things like is it the Joby?
Yes.
Which I believe Beta used to have. Jibo. That's it. So there's Jibo, which doesn't move around. There's a few of these assistants, but this is, I think, the next level. Definitely just the Jibo just sitting on your desk isn't necessarily as cool as this guy.
And Jibo had a lot of personality to him as well. One thing I think that is cool about Temi too is that, you know, they've given her sort of just the right amount of personality. It's not crossing those boundaries into becoming very human-like.
Yeah.
But it's also not totally like just a digital assistant. So it kind of has that nice combination of both.
Yeah, it's like physical and digital melded together.
Absolutely.
So awesome. Well, cool. Well, it's been great meeting you, Temi, and all of your beautiful work here. We're going to jump into our next product, and it's going to be a Google Smart Jacket collaboration with Levi. So we'll see how that goes. Yes. And then stick around a little bit later. We're going to talk about beta, and then, of course, we have our live trivia challenge.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nick.
Yeah.
Cool. We've got this next product, and why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the crowd?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Michelle. I'm a beta tester here at Beta San Francisco.
Awesome. And if you're just tuning in now, I'm Sebastian from Digital Acid, and we're checking out products from the future here at Beta in San Francisco. And what we're looking at today is the Jacquard.
Jacquard.
Ooh, it's French. It's a jean jacket that's developed by Levi's and Google. And why don't you tell us a little bit about this jacket?
Yeah, so this is the Jacquard commuter jacket. It is a denim jacket with smart threads built into it, so you're able to control things on your phone.
So that's these.
Yes, it's going to be these little threads here that are on the cuff here. And then attached to that is going to be a little tag here, and that's going to be Bluetooth connected to your phone. Okay. Which activates those threads for you.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so, so it's basically, the idea is that it's a commuter jacket. So in San Francisco lifestyle, you have a lot of bicyclers, and the idea is that, you know, instead of grabbing or reaching for your phone or trying to struggle with those things, you can do a few gestures. One of them is a brush.
Yes. So it's pretty simple. So you have something like double tapping, which is going to activate, for us, for my jacket in particular, is going to activate the music. So swipe out, and it will switch off the other song.
That's pretty cool. So are you actually physically touching these threads, or are you hovering above it?
I am actually touching the threads.
Cool. Yeah, it actually doesn't look bad. You've got these series of lines here, and we'll maybe throw it under the close-up view for you to see. So there are those threads, and then maybe turn a little bit to show that tag there. And so that is the Bluetooth connected. I imagine it contains all the computer and whatever is needed to send all this stuff.
If we actually want to snap it off, you can see.
Cool. Jacquard by Google. Levi's commuter.
it is.
And here, throw this real quick. Yeah. And then we're going to show you on the app what that looks like and what are the possibilities. So you've got this app here, and what are the things that we can do here?
Yeah, so here we're under the assign tag of the app, and so you can go ahead and click what you want that to be, whether it's...
Let's put that there like
yeah,
that.
of course. This one's going to focus on audio, so versus, let's say you wanted to use it for something else like directions or maybe calling your car. With here, you could pick, let's say, I'm going to make it the next button.
Right.
And then once again, when I brush in, it's going to be the next song that I play. And so I'll do that. And then brush out to do the previous song there. I'm going to go ahead and assign it.
Yeah.
Perfect. And once again, back. You can do that as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the idea is that it can program. Well, it's programmable, so that you have the idea that your jacket won't work the same way as another jacket would be.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's custom made for you. So you get to pick and choose what you want to do, depending on what kind of commuter you are.
Right. And then outside of music, what else can we control with this thing?
Yeah, with the tag, there is a little light up section as well where the tag can light up. So let's say you call an Uber car, but you're not sure when it's going to come.
Right.
It will actually light up, whatever color, it will light up to let you know that your car is ready.
So there's lights inside of here?
Yes, it's going to be a light here.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So you can use it as a notification. And so, yeah, that's a really cool idea. I like the idea that it's in a jean jacket, because if it was in a T-shirt, then it's a one-use kind of thing, where a jacket you're always wearing.
And now that it's done, it's a perfect transitional piece, traditionally in fashion, so you could wear it during the spring, during winter, summer. It's super versatile, which is really nice.
Right. Plus, it's Levi's and Google, so
Yes.
you can't go wrong. It's a classic. And, yeah, I wonder where this is all going to go with more smart clothes and, smart jewelry we've seen, but smart clothes is still on the horizon. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with it.
Definitely. I heard that they're actually working on other stuff as well, but the denim jacket, Google and Jacquard, they're going to be a team together, and they're working on developing new things, but the jacket is the first of its kind. So,
and also, it's probably an important call out. This project comes out of Google ATAP, which is their advanced technology and projects, and advanced projects. And so this is kind of like coming from the same department that you may have seen. They're working on this tech that was just approved by the FCC to be able to control devices without touching them. So turning a dial, but from a distance. And that all came from Google ATAP as well. So, yeah, awesome. Well, I think let me quickly see if there's any questions
please.
In the audience here. And love it. Can it track your steps?
It cannot. Not yet, at least.
Right. So maybe the Jacket 2.0 is going to be able to track the steps. But I think that is still a very cool idea. And maybe, you don't want to wear your fitness tracker or whatnot.
Right.
So, cool.
Makes
All
it
right.
a lot easier, right?
Awesome. Keith says he loves it. Awesome. Thanks, Keith. And Matt says, cool stuff. Awesome. Well, we're going to be moving on to our next product. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Cool jacket. You mind if I wear the jacket?
Yeah, here. Give it a try.
Let me just throw it on for the rest of the episode.
Go for it. It's a very comfy jacket.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Levi's and Google. Ooh. Yeah.
Ready to go?
That's nice. That's great. Very cool.
That's good.
All right. Well, okay, we're going to move on to the next product. And actually, we got one last question. How does it handle weather and water?
Pretty well. Because the the tag is actually on the inside of the cuff. It's pretty protected. It's pretty resistant as well. I mean, obviously, you don't want to jump into a puddle with it.
Yeah, it's probably not a swimsuit,
yes, but it does well even in the rain, so it should be fine.
Awesome. I'm sure they've thought of it all. Very cool. It almost looks like one of those tags when you want to walk out the door with the jacket.
Right. Or like a little key fob maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you.
Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about the Muse brain sensing headband in just a few seconds.
Awesome.
Bye. Thanks. All right, so cool. What do we got here? We've got this cool.
So this is going to be the Muse 2 brain sensing headband.
Okay.
And the whole idea behind this product is that it actually has a clinical grade EEG sensor, so it's going to be tracking your brain activity.
Okay.
With that, it'll also be able to track your heart rate, your blood oxygen level, how much you're actually moving around. So the whole idea behind this is supposed to give you really tangible things to look at when you're for something like meditation.
Right.
And it also helps guide you in that meditation. So if you want to,
sure.
mind if I throw this on?
Yeah, please.
All right. So it'd sit just like this.
Okay.
Right on your forehead. There we go.
Okay.
And then from there, you would actually be able to, it'll give you biofeedback during the meditation session.
Okay.
So reading your brain activity, what'll happen is, say, if you have your headphones on, if you're in a calm, deep focused state of mind, focusing on the breath, you'll hear the weather kind of match those patterns. So you'll hear nice, like light rain in a tropical rainforest, or nice waves lapping up on the beach. Okay. Versus if you start to get distracted, the Muse can actually pick up on that.
Oh, so it's giving you audio cues through headphones and telling you, hey, calm down, I'm going to play you rain.
Right.
Okay.
So the idea is that if you start getting distracted, you'll actually hear the weather shift. So you can hear the winds pick up, the rain get heavier, that sort of thing, as it's trying to cue you back to a deep focus, or into like a deep focus. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually, I've worked in UX design and all that stuff, and it is very complicated to give a subtle cue like that, especially in meditation. Is probably the most sensitive time of not wanting to disturb someone.
Right, so like you don't want to be distracted or have a lot of things going on, so it's a way that like it'll help gently guide you back into being, into the meditation, or the meditative state, or the neutral or calm state, it actually calls it.
Right.
There's actually, after each meditation session, can I?
Yeah, sure. Swap out those phones. Here you go, here on the center. There you go.
So this would be like an example of what it looks like.
Okay.
And then from there, so you can see that how the brain activity actually adjusted on the bar graph throughout the meditation session. And you can also see, let's move this a little bit here. Yeah. And then, so then you can also see, so like during like the first 20 seconds of this meditation session, the person was getting distracted and they're able to pull it back. And then so from there, you can actually hear the birds as like a cue that that you were able to pull it back. But from there's also different ones, like if you want to be able to control your heart rate. So what'll happen is they'll play a drum beat, and the whole idea is you'll be able to like match the drum beat, and then using the headband, you'll be able to track how accurate or close you're getting.
Very interesting. I think it's super important too, because we finally reached a point where, before, if you want to learn anything about your brain, you have to go to the doctor, right?
Right.
And our brain controls everything that we do. Exactly. So it's like, why not, focus on this and learn more about the most important organ we have?
Yeah.
Cool. Should we try to do something? I'm going to maybe try to meditate.
Let's try it. It's like, so we'll just do a quick 1-minute meditation session.
Perfect.
And so during this time, what I want you to be doing is just specifically focusing on your breathing.
Okay.
So we're going to have it.
Is there a closing eyes, or it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
For this calibration, find a comfortable position and close your eyes. Take it deep.
Also, guys, if you got any questions about the Muse headband, make sure that you throw it in the comments now, so that way when we finish this demo, we can address those questions.
Muse is now listening to your brain signals. Relax and let your mind flow naturally.
We're doing a quick calibration run, and then
perfect. No need to control or change anything. Ready? Place your attention on your breath now.
good news.
So let's see that. All right. So we're actually able to, I can't show you.
Great job.
So you're actually able to see in the beginning, like you were able to get in that deep focus. And then when you heard the first bird,
Yeah.
you know, it's actually able to track when you were able, like when you were getting those birds. And then when I asked you like to not think about it, like we're not supposed to be thinking about the birds, we were actually able to pull it slightly back.
Yeah. And the recovery.
So the recovery is going to be when you completely lose out of a,
Yeah, let's take a look at this here.
all right. I was like, so the recovery is going to be completely. So this is your bar. Oops. Here we go. This is going to be your results. Oops, sorry. And so from there, it's actually going to be quantifying the whole thing. So you'll get different points based off how well you did, and you get more points if you're in the deeper focus. So you're also able to get rewards, which mean so birds, which was you were able to pull it back.
Wonder. Don't worry, it's perfectly natural. It was a great opportunity to think back and reflect to it. What changes the session progress?
So being able to provide this information really can help you like hone in on like what your distractions are and where you're really struggling in the meditation, and then be able to go back and analyze that information and be able to see like, oh, you're right, about 30 seconds in there was a loud crash or whatever. So that explains why I got, you know, why you were pulled out, and then able to get back into that meditation session.
That's very cool. I mean, it probably looks cool. It kind of reminds me of Google Glass when I used to have Google Glass.
Yep.
And so when I had just the band, it kind of felt like this. But yeah, this is very cool. And what is the pricing on this
So
headband?
the Muse 2 headband is $249.
$249. Okay, cool. Not a bad price to learn about yourself. Yeah, I think it's really cool. So I have trouble meditating. I'm probably the last person to be able to pull this off. So maybe I should pick up a headband like this so I can make sure I'm doing it right. That seems to be the big issue with meditating. You're like, how am I doing
it right? Am I being distracted? What is meditation actually supposed to, like, what am I supposed to be doing during this time? And so for them, it really makes it easy because you can just focus on your breath and then hear how your brain activity is changing to get those small cues and then be able to look at that information. And it also rewards you long-term because you get to collect points, you collect awards. So it makes something that usually like intangible, very like real.
Yeah. And this is just the beginning of these brain-machine interfaces.
Absolutely.
You know, there's the emotive, which has an SDK, and you can program it to switch on lights on and off, or, you know, control VR and these kind of things. There's Elon Musk working on Neuralink, which is going to be a brain-machine interface in which we can jack into the internet and learn things from artificial intelligence in real time. So this is just sort of the tip of the iceberg, and it's cool to see where it starts in the consumer grade, which is here with the Muse 2. So awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great information. And we're going to have Nick come on, and we're going to talk a little bit about beta, and we're going to talk about how we can how businesses can use beta and how consumers can use beta, and a little bit of stuff you might not have known about this really cool story.
All right.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. So we're here in beta, and so what is beta for the people out there who don't even know what it is?
Sure. So beta is essentially a different type of retail. So we've been around since 2016. We started in one store in Palo Alto, which is still there, our original location.
I've been there.
And we've grown really, really fast in that short amount of time. We're at 16 locations right now. We'll have 17 by next month, and are on track to open a lot more before the end of the year. So beta is essentially pioneering what's called retail as a service. Okay. So what that means is that we are redefining sort of the way retail works. We are trained by companies that all come into beta in their product, and we essentially are representing their product for them in here They pay subscription fees.
Okay.
And sign contracts with us to be in our stores. Some are in all of our stores, some are in just a few. But it really just gives all these companies, both big and small, a chance to grow from being just on the internet to actually having physical presence. So everything in our stores is open and out of box, so customers can touch it, try it, play with it. It's a very interactive environment, so people here are invited to try things out. The associates here are we call them beta testers, are very educated in everything. So we definitely encourage people trying them out. We give demonstrations. We do sell the product here as well. And the name of beta kind of was born out of our original concept when we first opened, which was around a lot of products that were still in beta testing. So these were products that were still in Kickstarter campaigns.
I think that's when I started going to beta.
Yeah.
Was I walked into the store and I was like, oh, I've only seen this online. Oh my God, I got to see it in person. And they had all these things that I had seen either on Kickstarter or just on internet articles, but you never see them in person. And so, yeah, this is your chance to get your hands on those products and learn about them.
Exactly. Yeah. And, some products will be immediately recognizable to people. Some of these companies do a lot of marketing, and so people will come in and be like, oh my gosh, I just saw the Quip toothbrush in my Instagram feed this morning. So people are very familiar with some of the products. Some of them are so cutting edge, people have never heard of them. So, maybe it's just something like Temi that was at CES, So it's really a wide range. And, we've really grown beyond just tech. And it started incorporating things like clothing and consumables and skincare and lots of different things. So the model is really, really robust. We are a startup ourselves.
Nice.
And completed our Series B with Macy's as our major investor. So thank you. We're very, very proud of that. That partnership is also going to fuel Macy's future in adopting this model for a lot of their store-within-store concepts. So it's very, very exciting. I mean, it really changes the paradigm of stores needing to be successful based off of sales from customers coming in. Because the partners are essentially paying our bills through their subscription fees, it really frees up the interactions to be more around the experience and also gives customers the freedom of choice. I mean, it's great if they buy here. It does support the partner. They also get the benefit of lots of support from us, a 30-day, sort of trial period on anything they buy here. But it, also is fine if the customer wants to buy, directly through the partner or on beta.com. It really doesn't matter where they purchase, ultimately, because, if we are educating the customer in the product, they feel good about their purchase, they understand the product. And we recognize that a lot of these are brands that maybe people have never heard of or technology that people maybe have never heard of. So it really does, encourage people to try innovation.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
We are all about driving innovation and making sure that people understand that this is about, really trying something new.
Yeah, and I think it really is a cool service because the consumer gets this ability to either learn about something without the sort of high pressure sales and maybe see something that they've never seen or heard of before, and they get educated and hands-on. Just even sometimes you just want to see the product in person.
Sure.
And that's, that's what the internet hasn't been able to solve yet. Maybe with AR, VR, it might be able to solve. But then for the startups out there, maybe if there's a hardware startup out there in Silicon Valley working on something innovative and cool, this could be your way in showcasing your product in front of actual people. And then beyond that, beyond putting it in front of people, we were talking about it earlier that you guys have a pretty cool analytics as well that you can provide businesses. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I mean, for the price that these partners are paying to be in our stores, they're not just getting placement. They're actually getting real-time information. So we have cameras in the store that capture very generalized data on how many customers, who's looking at products, how they're interacting with the product and the displays, and also, tracking heat maps and, lots of different ways to, sort of understand their customers. So it gives them a lot of insight when they're only interacting with customers online to be able to understand the physical way that customers are interacting with their product as well. So they get a lot of valuable data for being in here. Beta builds out and has a very robust engineering team that builds out lots of software tools for these companies to be able to track their progress while they're with us.
Awesome. Well, that sounds really cool. I'm going to go and grab a quick question here from the side. And this says here, will beta be in the DC area this year?
Believe it or not, beta is in the DC area right now. So at Tyson's Corner, it's not technically DC. We do have plans for a full inline store there, hopefully later this year. Right now, we do have what's called a pod location. So a few of our locations that we sort of scout out ahead of time will have a smaller format store. So as opposed to a bigger store like this that's got up to 100, 110 products, our pods will be more like 30 to 40. So it's a little more curated, a little smaller. All of our other stores outside of San Francisco and Palo Alto so far are all located in malls. So we do have a very kind of successful format with that.
Okay.
The pod stores are sort of bigger than a kiosk, but smaller than a full retail store.
Yep.
They're very cool and very interactive as well. So we do have one in the Tyson's Corner area.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff that like I've always been wondering about. I mean, they have like, for example, a military grade self-destructing crypto wallet. Okay, you heard of that before? No, you haven't. It's here. I mean, they've got the electric skateboards, smart home stuff. I mean, we're looking at headphones that, I mean, really, you got to check it out and check out the website. And just so you know how to spell it, it's B8ta.com. And there you can check out the location, see if there's a city a store in a city near you. And just fun. Like, to be honest, is like I'm walking by with my wife, I see that store, I'm like, hey, that's going to be the store that I get to go in and check out and geek out on some gadgets and stuff. So it just it makes sense that we would bring you on the stream and talk about innovation because we're so aligned in that way.
Absolutely. And the fact that we're growing at a very, very fast pace, there's always new stuff coming in the stores. Every single month we get new products in.
Yep.
So, definitely encourage your viewers to come in and check out any beta store. Of course, here in San Francisco is where we're based.
Yeah.
So
there's like 2 or 3 locations here?
No, just one.
San Francisco, and then technically down south.
Yes. We have 4 in the Bay Area. So, Corte Madera, San Francisco, Palo Alto, and San Jose and Santana Row.
And right now we're in the Hayes Valley store. So if you want to come in and say hi to Nick, he'll be there live. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for having us. Pleasure. We're going to jump into our live trivia challenge here in the beta store. And we've learned so much today. If we have any other questions, I might shoot them over to you.
Absolutely.
But, awesome, Nick. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. So I just want to go ahead and quickly touch on a couple comments here. So we've got, let's see. Dr. Wednod. I remember you from a past stream, so thank you so much for tuning in. He says that he is looking forward to carrying out a live event soon. We look forward to watching you on this LinkedIn Live. It's going to be so cool to see the community join in and see what they create. This is what we're creating, and hopefully you enjoy that. And that's why we've created this LinkedIn Live Trivia Challenge, because it's one of the only ways that you can really, we can go back and forth. So I love grabbing your questions from the feed, but also this live trivia challenge is also another fun way to interact, which you can only do live and you can't do pre-recorded. So cool. Well, I think we're going to jump into those questions in just a second. So we're going to grab a few more questions from the chat. And what do you think about my Muse headband? And this Jacquard jacket. Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so let's talk about what it is we did today. And so we looked at a lot. We looked at first Temi. I know some people call it Temi, but Temi is in fact the proper pronunciation, and that's our telepresence robot. So we took a look at that. Look at this really cool jean jacket here from Levi's. And it has these threads here which allow you to do gestures and control a phone. And then of course we saw the Muse brain sensing headband. So awesome. Cool. Well, you guys ready for the trivia challenge? Make sure that you tag someone and challenge them so that way you can play together and duel it out to see how well you do. Cool. All right. Oh, you guys rock. Thank you so much. You rock. Cool. All right. Well, so let's jump into the first question here. I hope you guys are ready. The first question is, which company unveiled a pair of shoes that can order a pizza? Give you that one more time. Which company unveiled a pair of shoes that can order a pizza? There's a few pizza companies out there. A few companies out there. Who would do this? You think it's a tech company? Do you think it's a pizza company? Which pizza company would it be? What do you think? Cast your vote below. Let us know what you think. Who's got the pizza ordering sneakers? They look kind of cool. To give you a little bit of background, I know the gentleman who made these shoes. His name is Shoe Surgeon, and you can look him up. He's in LA, and he's doing all the custom shoes for all the big basketball players and celebrities. You can get a $2,000 pair of alligator Jordans if you'd like. That price may not be accurate, but normally his shoes cost a couple grand to do. And he's even got his own school where he teaches people how to make shoes from scratch. So whoever that is collaborated with a company, which I will not mention who, because I am committed to not giving away the answers to this trivia quiz question like I do every week. Every week I give you a freebie. It's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. All right, cool. We're going to read that question one more time, and then we're going to reveal the answer. So the question is, which company unveiled a pair of shoes that can order a pizza? All right, we're going to reveal the answer. The answer, which company unveiled a pair of shoes that can order a pizza? The answer, Pizza Hut. That's right. So Papa John's dropped the ball on this one. And by the way, Papa John's, John isn't even the Papa anymore. He's been removed from his seat as the main Papa. So, not sure. But it doesn't matter because Pizza Hut's innovating. Okay? What's your favorite pizza? Let me know. All right, cool. We're going to jump into the next question. And this one's related to Temi. Temi had a little sensor on the bottom. And this sensor allows Temi to walk around and see the space that it's in, and also get an understanding so it doesn't run into things. So, and that term is LIDAR. So the question is, what does LIDAR stand for? Do you know? What does LIDAR stand for? So, what do you guys think? There's a lot of autonomous vehicles who are using LIDAR, including the Cruise Automation, which is actually GM's multi-billion-dollar project to take Tesla out of the lead there. So very ambitious project. If you're out here in San Francisco, you can't stop seeing those damn cruise cars. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. But LIDAR is, in fact, what those sensors are on the top. And that's like a spinning laser. So what do you think? Also, on our last stream, we mentioned that Elon Musk says that LIDAR is a waste of time and that computer vision is the actual future. So what do you think? LIDAR versus computer vision. What's your thoughts? We can attach a bunch of cheap cameras and use computer vision to get an understanding using artificial intelligence as to what the actual mapping of the room is, right? But LIDAR is a whole nother solution. However, it does have some concerns, like eye safety is a surprising drawback to LIDAR. And that's why the Temi robot that we showed you earlier, the LIDAR sensor is actually on the bottom near the feet. So that way it's not in the range of eyesight. All right, cool. We're about to give you the answer here. We're going to give you the question one more time. What does LIDAR stand for? What do you think? Live Trivia Challenge, the ultimate LinkedIn Live show. What do you think? All right, we're about to give away the answer. Here we are. So, if you guessed light detection and ranging, then you were correct. And if you guessed anything else, you were wrong. And you should watch our show more because you would have known that answer, right? You see? You see? The more you learn. All right, cool. We're going to move on to our next question here. And how are you guys doing so far? Let me just quickly touch base with you on LinkedIn Live. And Jeremy says Pizza Hut. The doctor says he's right. It's all algorithms from this point on, so he agrees with Elon Musk. And yeah, awesome. Cool. Well, we're going to jump on to this next question here. And now we're going to go on to this third question. Here we go. This one is open-ended. I want to see how well you do. There are plenty that have came out, but the question is, name 3 virtual reality headsets. So even if you've just been paying attention to the news recently, then you know a couple headsets just came out this week, and some people are very happy about what they've received. All my feed is just like people unboxing headsets this week. So there's 2 that came out, but there's competitors. There's plenty of choices. So there's been dozens of headsets that have came out. I'm only asking for 3. Name 3 virtual reality headsets. All right. Jeremy says, Sebastian, do you go by Seabass? Let's have an intimate talk about that for just a second. I think there's no nickname that irritates me more than Seabass. I think I can deal with the Seb. I think I can deal with the Sebass. Okay? But the Seabass thing is just really... I think I don't want to be compared to a fish. That's maybe what it ultimately is. But yeah, that's not my favorite. I'd rather have someone else come up with a nickname or call me Seb or something else. No sea bass, please. I'll eat sea bass. Delicious. All right, and then Doctor here said, I got to really work on this name. Dr. Wednod, okay, is a magnetic field phenomenon. And he's got answers for this VR quiz here. He's saying, oh, you know what? Should I read their answers? Because that's giving away answers to everyone else, even though they can read the comments, right? What do you think? Well, he's going off. He's naming way more than needed. He's going for extra credits, plus bonus, plus. All right. Well, we're gonna give you a AAA after this. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and name a few. Should we announce the question one more time? Let's do the question one more time. Name 3 virtual reality headsets. Can be any headset. Can be a 3DOF headset. Can be a 6DOF headset. Can be mobile. Can be PC tethered. You name it. It can be inside-out tracking. It can be outside-in tracking. You see? See, I'm throwing these words at you. You should know. You should know what I'm saying. But if you don't, let's name 3 more. Here we go. So I'm going to name 3 off the top of my head. I'll probably name like 10, probably. So this week, Oculus Quest came out yesterday. We were unboxing and having like multiple headsets connected, and we had basically a VR party last night. Also, the Rift S dropped at the same time, so that's a PC connected VR headset. There's also, like the doc here mentioned, Vive Index, Vive. Oh no, that's actually incorrect. There is no Vive index. It is, although Valve worked on the original HTC Vive, the index is actually a Steam product. So it's actually the Steam or Valve index. And so then there's the original Vive, there's a Vive Focus, there's Rift S, HTC Vive. We could talk about the Samsung Odyssey, Samsung Odyssey Plus. There's the HP, there's the Lenovo, there's the Acer Explorer, maybe. Let's see, what else? We've got the Samsung Gear. We've got the Pimax 8K and 5K. Yeah, that's like what, 15 headsets or something? That's enough. All right, cool. Yes, you are right about the index. Oh no, you're all good, Doc. Don't apologize. But if you don't know about the index, they dropped a really cool, groundbreaking in a way setup. So they didn't do inside-out tracking, which is kind of interesting. That's for the more hardcore gamers who want to have a lot more tracking of their back and front. So those ones are like mounted on tripods in your room. But what they did bring was the Knuckles controllers, and it actually has finger tracking. So when you look in VR, you can move your fingers and grab things. And then, you know, what's really cool too is it has a band over the arm where you can let go. And then it has a force grip, so it's pressure sensitive. So if you were to grab a cup, then with your fingers, you'd see the fingers getting close to the cup. And then once the pressure sensitivity feels that you're touching the cup, then you can do the extra force, I guess 3D touch would be the word. And then you could break a glass, for example. So they can program in, software developers can program into the game what would happen if you did that extra press. So awesome. Next time, let's take the audience to the history of VR. Man, we need to hang out and talk about these things. You really know your stuff. I'll take you up on that offer. DM me. Let's do it. And maybe you can help me put together the show, The History of VR. Awesome. All right. We're getting caught up. We're going on a tantrum. Tantrum. It's not a tantrum. It's a tangent. That's what it is. Okay, cool. We're going to move on to the next question. And we're almost done here with this live trivia challenge, so make sure you get in your answers. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had a great time here at Beta. And again, that's b8ta.com. You can check out their stuff. And then, of course, we are the Digital Acid here. All right. Cool. So our next question, and this is kind of a funny one, and I'm sure that you guys know the answer to this one, but sometimes we've got to make it a little bit easy. And you might see some exclusive footage of me. So which app recently introduced baby, woman, and man augmented reality masks? So basically masks or filters is another word for it, that I can turn into a woman or a man or a baby. I don't know if you've seen that. And if you're seeing footage of me as a baby or a woman or as a man, you're not allowed to laugh. I'm deducting points from the quiz if you laugh. All right. So, which app recently introduced baby, woman, and man AR masks? Can we put that back up on there? Let's throw that back. So, baby, woman, and man AR masks. Which app? What do you think? And remember, no laughing when you see the footage. I'm deducting points. All right. Cool. Get your answers in LinkedIn Live. And cool. All right. All right. Hey, so what do you think about this mask? What do you think about my face right there? So the answer for the last, well, it's not the last question, for this question, which is which app introduced man, woman, and baby augmented reality masks? The answer, Snapchat, some of the kings of introducing augmented reality to consumers at a multi-million audience scale. So there you go. And that's what you get for tuning in live. You get to see me as a baby and as a woman. And you can only see that here because I won't be posting it later. Cool. Awesome. All right. We're going to jump into the last question here. And here it is. So just like last week, I want you to name that robot. That robot that you see in front of you, can you name this robot? Now, interestingly enough, the company that produced this robot that we're looking at actually had a product here in beta previously. And so the idea is that they have a larger, very well-known robot. So well-known that this robot has spoken at the UN, has been featured on the Jimmy Fallon show, on the front of like Vogue magazine. So very famous, larger robot. Now this is the sort of consumer grade version of this large, famous robot. And they had a previous product, which is a small AI personal assistant, which looked like Einstein. And it was like a little Einstein or a baby Einstein. He can stick his tongue out. It's kind of cool looking. But, you know, what about this robot, though? I want you to name that robot. Test your skills. What do you think, LinkedIn Live? All right. I think I've given a lot of clues away. I'll give another small clue away. The company that produces this robot is Hanson Robotics. Okay. And this is their first second attempt at trying to launch a consumer grade product. They did a Kickstarter. The Indiegogo is live right now. If you would like to, I think they run about, I think it's 2 for $200 or 1 for $150 is the Indiegogo price. And cool. Well, we're going to reveal the answer. Here it is for our last trivia challenge question. And the answer is Little Sophia. So this is the little version or the little sister of Sophia, the robot. And it'll be interesting to see how these at-home physical AI assistants or robotic assistants become a regular part of our daily lives. What do you think? Are you guys thinking or considering about a robotic personal assistant at home, or maybe for business? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And what would make you close the deal here? When would you buy your first robot? Awesome. Well, I think that pretty much concludes our live trivia challenge. I hope you had a great time here at Beta here in Hayes Valley, San Francisco. And make sure to check out their other 16 locations and more on the way. You can find that information at beta.com and see all their products and find out if there's a location near you where you can step in and try some of these really cool projects or products and have some of the beta testers educate you about this really cool advanced technology that they're showing off. So, and of course, Sebastian Perez from the Digital Acid here, always giving you a taste of the future. And until next live stream, I love you a long time. Bye.